I'm Kat, creator of the Novel Factory, and in this video I'm going to take you through the timelines feature of the software. You can find the timelines function or feature in the main navigation along the left by clicking timelines here. This will take you to the timelines section. I don't have any timelines at the moment, which is why it is blank. If I want to create a timeline, I will click the Add Timeline button in the top right hand corner. And then I can give that timeline a title and a description. I can add an image here if I want to, but I'm going to leave that for a moment and click Add so that I can show you that you can also add an image for it by clicking the button here. Select a picture and that will show on the card there to represent your timeline, because you can have multiple timelines, and if you do want to do that they will show here as each individual cards. To go into our timeline and start adding data to it, you can either click on the context menu button which appears when you hover over the card and click open, or you can double click the card and that will also open it. Obviously, if you click on this context menu, you can delete the whole timeline as well, but we're going to open it. So our timeline doesn't have any data in it at the moment, so it's completely blank. So we will start by adding an entry. There are two types of entries that you can add to a timeline: events and eras. Events are specific events, things that happen on a particular date. Eras are sort of like folders or longer periods within which there will be multiple events. So for example, if we start by adding a new event, let's say it's Dorothy's birthday, and that's when Dorothy is born, and perhaps that's on the 13th of Feb 1971. So this is Dorothy's birthday. We're going to add that event to our timeline. As you can see, that adds on there, and we might want to add another entry which is going to be another event, and that could be Dorothy starts school, and maybe that's going to happen September 1975. So just to mention about the date and time, that's a completely free form box, so you can put anything you would like to into that. Okay, so if we add that, that will add as another entry underneath the first one. Of course, you can rearrange the entries by dragging and dropping them if you want to. And you can edit them by, again, hovering over, clicking on the context menu button and clicking edit, and they will open up again and you can change them however you want to. If you want to add more entries, you can also insert them using the add entry above, add entry below on the context menu, and of course you can delete the entries with the delete on there as well. But there is another type of entry as well as the events, and that is the eras, the folders or the longer periods within which the events sit. So if we create a new era, we can say that that era is 1971 to 1982. Add that, and you can see that that adds as a wider card so that you can differentiate it, and it shows that it contains the others. So we could add a new era, and that one is added at the bottom. So now that you can see that all of the events here are within this era, and this is the beginning of a new era. As well as adding events and eras, you can also link scenes. If you are familiar with the software, you may already know that one of the key elements that we use are scenes, and scenes can be found throughout the software in the manuscript area, in the plot manager, and they are linked to from various other parts, because those are the heart of your manuscript and they will have lots of different things linked to each other. So we want you to be able to insert your scenes into given timelines if you would like to. If you want to do that, you click Link Scene. That will bring up a list of all of the scenes in your novel. These are scenes that I have previously created. If you don't have any scenes, nothing will show in this list. And you can select which scenes you would like to add to this timeline and you can link them. Now, the important thing to remember about this is that scenes are linked, but if you delete them from the timeline, you do not delete the scene. The scene still exists elsewhere in the software. You are only unlinking it. And that is shown by, if you click on the context menu, on the extra menu that you get, you can see that you can click remove rather than delete. So if we remove that, it will come off of the timeline, but it will still be elsewhere in the software. Whereas with the entries, if we delete an entry, then it is deleted completely because it is only in the timeline itself. Okay, so you can tell the difference between the scenes, which are found elsewhere in the software, and the events by this icon. Scenes are represented by a little book, which is true throughout the software, and events and eras are represented by the little calendar icon. Again, you can always drag and drop to reorder all of these items. On the left is a list of every item in your timeline, so every era, every event, and every linked scene, so you can get a very quick overview there, as well as the more detailed overview in the main area. As in other areas of the software, we have the related info on the right hand side. I don't have any scenes selected right now, which is why it's blank, but if I click on one of these scenes or events, then it will show on the left things that are linked. This is a brand new entry. It hasn't got anything linked, so nothing is showing, but I could link something to it. If I click on this link option here, it will show me all of the items that are available to be linked to this. And these are other things that you can find in the software. These are all things that I have created previously: scenes, characters, items, and notes and locations. So I'm going to link Barbara to Dorothy. Let's say Barbara was born at the same time or was present at Dorothy's birthday, therefore I'm going to link Barbara to it. If I click on one of these scenes, you can see that there are already things linked to this scene which have been linked to it while using a different part of the software. So all of these linked items can be seen when you click on your scene card. Another thing to note is that you can change the size of the timeline to suit your visibility or how much you would like to see on the screen at one time. It starts off as default as medium, but you can go small to fit a bit more on the screen, or you can go large if that's easier for you to read. Another way that you can customize the timeline to make it suit you is by changing whether you display just the title, just the description, or both. And you do that using this button here. So at the moment and as default, it will be title and description, but you may choose to have just the description show, or you may choose to have only the title show if that makes it easier for you to see lots of things at a time, for example. The next button here is the Edit Details button. This edits the details of the timeline itself, so you might want to change the title of the timeline or the description. Okay, I think that is pretty much everything to do with timelines for the time being. Just to show you, this button here takes you back to the overview of all of your timelines when you want to get back to that. Okay, I hope that's been helpful and clear, and if you do have any questions about timelines, please do get in touch with us. We really like to hear from you. We're always improving the software, so if you have feedback for us, we really like to hear it. We really do try to take it on board, and you can contact us via our contact form, and you can also contact us on Facebook, where we have quite an active community, and if you're not on there, then please do join us there.